Hello, dear students. Let's see GATE 2014 question asked on relational algebra. The question is, what is optimized version of the relational algebra expression? Just don't get frightened on looking at such words optimized. What they mean is that if this relational algebra expression is given, which is correct, obviously, and this works, they are saying, but then what is the best way to write this expression? Is it method A or B or C, one of this? By best, what we mean is that which of these expressions A, B, C, D are equivalent to the above expression and which will run fast, which will run in less time. That's what we mean by optimized. Rather, you can also say that which of these expressions is the best way to write the above expression in concise way, in a very shorthand notation, and which will run also faster. Now, first of all, understand few more things given here, that where A1, A2 are sets of attributes. So the A1, which is projection done on A2 and A1, you can see two times the project operation has been done in the bracket. Projection has been done on A2 attribute. Outside the bracket, projection has been done on A1, where they are saying A1, A2 are sets of attributes in R, in our relation R. So you can even imagine A1 and A2 are single attributes. Although they have given sets of attributes, you can take sets of attributes, or you can say A1 and A2 are some attributes in R, with one more condition given, A1 is subset of A2. You can check that this attribute, set of attribute A1, is subset of this attribute A2. Also, F1 and F2 are Boolean expressions based on attributes in R. Of course, F1 and F2 have to be Boolean expressions because they are written with select operation. With select operation, we write condition, isn't it? Condition for selecting the tuples from relation R. So which of these expressions written A, B, C or D is the optimized version of the above expression? Well, the best way to deal with this is to understand the given expression first of all. Please try to concentrate on the expression given, and when you understand the expression, you will ultimately tick the correct option. So what I have done is that I have taken some relation R. They have not given what relation contains. I have assumed that this relation has roll number of the student, name of the student, course number. CNO here is course number that the student has enrolled for, and marks obtained by the student in that course. So as example, roll number 1 is named as A, and he has enrolled or she has enrolled for course 100 and scored 90, and various such tuples I have shown in this relation. And what I have done then is that I have given the original expression written over here. Now, just try to dissect this particular expression. The innermost bracket will get solved, isn't it? And what is it going to do? It's going to return the tuples from relation R which satisfy the Boolean expression F2. So let us say that F2 is a Boolean expression which represents some condition like this: marks greater than, let's say, 65. Okay, so can you imagine from relation R we are pulling out those tuples? What is F2, by the way? We are pulling out those tuples where marks are greater than 65. What that means is all these tuples will be selected because everywhere the marks are greater than 65. Okay, but then once we get this particular result of the innermost bracket, now comes the outer one, select operation here, which is another Boolean expression F1. And just imagine F1 is course number should be equal to 100. This is a Boolean expression. So you know that due to this inner bracket, all tuples were selected because marks are greater than 65 everywhere. But then what is this outer condition going to do is, from the inner tuples, it's going to give only first row because course number is 100, correct? Second row because course number is 100, and third row because course number is 100. Okay. So what is exactly happening, are you understanding? Is that those tuples of R will be selected where F1 and F2 is true. Check my word, and it is. It is equivalent to and, isn't it? First, you are selecting the tuples which satisfy F2, and then from that result, you are selecting the tuples, or you are filtering the tuples which satisfy F1 also. So this inner bracket, this portion of select, can be written as select only those tuples where F1 and F2 is true for the given relation R. In our exercise, in our example, it can be written as select those tuples where course number is 100 and marks is greater than 65 from relation R. This is perfectly equal, same as writing select, okay, course number equal to 100, again select marks greater than 75 from relation R, and one more bracket and one more to complete this two times selection, isn't it? So it can be combined, nested selection, remember nested selection can be combined using AND operator. So straight away on understanding this, you now know that option A is alive because here they are ANDing it. Option B is out of question because they are ORing it. Option C is still alive because they are ANDing it, but option D is out of question because they are ORing it. Further, now let's go one step ahead. You have now ANDed F1 and F2 and you have selected some tuples from R which satisfy both these conditions. Now they have got project A2, and outside that they have got project A1. They have also given us one information that A1 is subset of A2. What that means is if A2 is set of attributes, then A1 is definitely subset of those set of attributes. What I mean here is, if I continue writing our earlier example, just check that we have got those students who score more than 65 in course number 100, isn't it? And imagine that the first project on A2, I write it like this: project, roll number, comma, name, and put a bracket here. So what will be selected, or rather projected? Only roll number and name of those students who belong to course number 100 and who has scored greater than 65. I hope you understand. That means the output of this would be 1A because this person is from course 100 and scored greater than 65. Then 2B because this person is from course 100 and scored greater than 65. And 5E because this person is also from course 100 and scored greater than 65. But then something silly has been done in the given question. What if outside this I say, okay, now project only roll number? Now this is silly. You can see that this is A1 set of attributes, this is A2 set of attributes, and clearly A1 is subset of A2. Roll number is subset of roll number comma name. But hello, the inner bracket had already given us roll number and name, and now we are cancelling the name and we are saying, no, no, we want only roll number. Then what was the use of this, isn't it? Why don't we directly say that from this result, the inner result, project only roll number? As A1 is subset of A2, it would be enough. It would be enough to say that project A1 from selection of F1 and F2 from the relation R. I hope you have understood what I am talking about with that particular example. So option A is correct. Option C cannot be correct because selecting A2 means you will be selecting roll number and name, but ultimately you wanted to select only roll number, the smaller set of attributes. So select or project A1 should be the correct option. A is the correct option for this particular question. Thank you very much.